Hello and welcome to my whiteboard presentation of the horse racing system called Racing Winners. So we're all here for this reason, Racing Winners. I'm hard to believe that I brought this system out in 2010. It's still going reasonably well, obviously not as popular as it once was when a couple of websites like Cashmaster and GG's favourably approved it, and with that I got a lot of feedback and sales from that. I'm a stickler for bringing in certain criteria in order to create a winning methodology. Now a lot of people say, oh well, I've got my own system, I've put on a couple of bets and I've won money. Well, how can you possibly use that as a good guide to making money in the long term? I'm talking about over 1 or 2, 3 years placing 50, 100, 200, 300 bets. Now that's when you can really tell if a system's making money, not a system that starts off well and then goes southwards with the betting bank. I'm talking about a gradual chart that maybe look like that, but it shows slight growth, rather than one that goes like that and then that. That's no good to no one, because that's like volatile, and if you're in the bell curve here and you get involved when the system's doing that and then it goes downhill, you'll obviously be wanting your money back and you'll be making massive complaints to the vendor about it hasn't fulfilled its early potential. That happens with a lot of systems, and I never ever want to produce a system that does that. I'm always looking for steady growth. I'm not talking about satellite growth. I was involved with trading prior to getting involved with the horse racing betting side of it. So I just want to see a chart that even goes down slightly, just because you'll get to know yourself more when you start losing money and how you deal with it, and what your mentality is towards real money. When there's real money on the table, that really does test your character, and with that your discipline. So you're wanting a system that can go like that, so there's your line there. So it breaks out, and then you could get involved with that and it might go down, but you want one that eventually net will make you a profit. Now you've got to factor in the time spent. So if it's taking you 15 to 20 minutes to implement a selection, you've got to factor that in. Could your money be better off spent elsewhere? Because if you're spending, say, 30 minutes a day looking for betting selections and you're not showing much growth, then you could probably make money elsewhere better. Even sticking it in the bank would be a safer bet, although because the mortgage rate is so low, you hardly get a penny back in money. So perhaps not putting into stocks or shares or spread betting could be a better bet, but again there's risk involved with that as well. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Everything has a risk attached to it. No matter what you're talking about with money, there's always a risk, and there's no difference with horse racing. Yeah. So what you want to think about is my system. Horse Racing Winners is about 3 things. Basically, the first one I always do is having solid money management. What I mean by that is you need to have something in place that protects you. You don't want to get involved with revenge bets. Say you've lost 6 in a row, so you up the amount of your stake to try and claw back your losses. No, never ever. You've got to ride out the storm. There'll always be losses, even if you bet hot favourites, which I don't get involved with. You'll always get a run of losses. It seems as though every time you put a bet on a horse, the other one wins, or it just seems to go against you. But it's not, because the betting market has no memory of anyone's previous bets, so don't think that. It's not revenge. It's just, you've got to have yourself, you've got to act like a bookmaker or a betting exchange when you put on each bet. So first of all, you need solid money management. So that means, say, let's just say you have a £1,000 betting bank. The most you should ever place on that is 5%, and that's aggressive. So I always recommend about between 2 and 3%. So that means your bet on £1,000 should have a maximum of £30. So if you lose, you would go down to 970. So your next selection would be 3% of that, which again would be roughly about £29. And then if you win, say you won 300 quid, so your bank went up to £1,270, right? So that means your next bet would be about £37, which equates to 3%. And the key from having solid money management in place is to compound your money, meaning you can make profit from the profit you've already made. So then, say you made £600 profit in 6 months, you could put £300 away into your normal bank account and keep £300 in your betting bank. So you should always have a separate bank. You should always have a bank different from your betting bank. Your normal bank, you should never have money in your betting bank that you need to pay bills or food or whatever, your car tax or whatever, your mortgage. It should be a separate betting bank. It should be just seen as a business, a separate business away from your normal bank. So you should always have that separate from that. But going back to compounding, that leads into solid money management. If you have a good selection in place, a good selection process, then that works nicely. Now, it's okay having words, but you know, obviously you've got to get money management effective from that. You need to have a solid selection criteria. So the foundation of Racing Winners ethos is to eliminate certain races like Class 1, say, say your big meetings at Epsom or Ascot or Cheltenham, which is my favourite course, or Goodwood or York. So these are all tasty races, big money races. These are the ones that you should watch just from a spectator viewpoint, or you could put a fun bet on, but don't use Racing Winners for Class 1 meetings, meaning there's a lot of money on them, and the odds are kind of tight, and they're quite accurate. Usually the top 3 in the betting winning. I'm not saying that's a good thing, a good or a bad thing. Just saying, as a betting medium, with Racing Winners, we should want to avoid meetings from there that are Class 1. Yeah. So what we want to be betting on is races that are Class 2, 3 and 4, because 5 and 6 are basically more like novices or apprentice jockeys, so they're unpredictable. They're maybe learning their craft, and especially when the horse is leaving the ground, especially in jumps, national hunt meetings, you want to avoid that. So basically, Racing Winners gets involved with meetings which have basically X amount of horses. So say like horses that maybe there's between 4 and 8 horses in a meeting, ideal, and you've got C2, 3 and 4. Okay, so you Class 2, 3 and 4, you get all that information free from the Racing Post website, so you can find your meetings for the day. And the other thing is, it's got to be UK turf meetings. Now, I'm not saying that Ireland, Irish meetings or French or Dubai meetings are not worth it. I just don't have the data to implement with any confidence meetings in Ireland or Dubai or France or the US races. I only deal with UK mainland turf meetings. Yeah, I don't get involved with all weather meetings. I don't like sand. It's basically it's not natural surface for horses to run on. I just don't enjoy them, and I don't use them as a betting medium. Maybe maybe you like them yourself, but I don't get involved with it. I just deal with UK turf meetings in Scotland, England and Wales. So basically we're looking for meetings that meet class 2, 3 and 4 with between like 4 and 8 runs, sometimes 9 horses, but you'll get call-offs. And we're looking at certain areas to get the most from the selection. So you're dealing with the distance. So you're trying to avoid maybe sprints, because if the horse doesn't get out the stalls quick enough, it might not catch up. So 5 furlong meetings aren't ideal. Try and avoid it. And long national hunt races, like say over 3 miles, national hunt can be difficult, because once the horse could be doing really well, going to form, and then just near the end running out of steam and maybe hit the hit the obstacle and basically lose momentum or fall over. So we want to keep it within 3 miles. So ideally national hunt should be between 2 mile and 3 mile. Yeah. So that eliminates your 3.5, 4 mile, your grand national meetings, your big long-winded races that are exciting at Cheltenham, but it's between 2 and 3 mile, and obviously the flat racing, 6 furlong, 7 furlong, and 1 mile and 1.2 mile. Yeah. So flat, 6, 7, 1 mile and 1 mile plus. And national hunt meetings should be between 2 and 3 mile, no more, no less. Well, the minimum gets 2 mile anyway. So 2 mile to 3 mile is ideal. Class 2, 3 and 4. Just so you know where you are, you can go through the racing post race meetings and circle out the potential selections from that criteria. And we don't get involved with these highly punted mediums, because the odds can be manipulated, and I just don't want to get involved with that. It's just I don't have accurate data to support that. The very last component of any system, whether it be racing winners or whatever, is financial discipline. Now, that is the most important thing of all. You can have the best money management in the world, and you can have a great selection criteria, but you'll always have that area where you get 3 or 4 losses in a row, or 7 or 8, as I've had in a row a few times with racing winners, because of the bets that we try and get, the odds we're looking for. So financial discipline, and that's when you'll get to know a lot about yourself and how you treat money. You've got to treat this. It's very hard when there's real money on the table. It's okay when you've got a fun account, it's not a real account, there's not real money on the table. So your mindset is that, well, if you lose, but when there's real money on the table, that really tests you. So if you lose 8 in a row, how is your mentality? How is your mentality going to cope with that? So your account might go from £1,500 down to, well, because of the stop loss we've got 3%, say your account goes from £1,500 and you have maybe 8 or 10 losses in a row, down to £1,100. So all of a sudden you've had 400 quid come away from your account in 2 or 3 weeks. How is your mindset going to cope with that? Are you ready for that? Yeah. Because that is, with my system, you will experience that. And people have come on complaining. I said, look, it says, you will get losses. It's how you cope with that. Now the thing is, you should never ever do revenge bets. And what I mean by that is upping your stake amounts to try and claw back that amount, the example amount. That is, I never ever want anyone to do that, especially if you buy my system, because you're defeating the purpose. What's the point in buying a system? You may as well have just randomly selected horse race. Horse racing means in any horse that starts with the letter A or the letter D. If you're going to do that, you should actually ride out the storm and then watch the account hopefully go back up again. And if you get full confidence with the system, then that your mentality should take care of that, and you'll be able to claw that back. Yeah, it's proven. If you do it, ride it out, act like a robot, you'll be able to claw it back. Yeah. So that is basically it. That's the fundamentals of racing winners. With the last one, it's something I can't really teach you. Financial discipline has to come from within. It's what's between your ears that counts the most. Yeah. And it's something that I can't. You can have all these things like betting rules. Yeah, you can have them written down in sheets and sheets of paper, and you can have like profit compounding. You know, you're going to reinvest the money you make and then make profit from profit. But when you experience the inevitable losses, how are you going to cope? And that will test you as a human being, yeah, and how your attitude is towards music. Well, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed my my whiteboard presentation, then you can click on any of the click now to purchase, and you can also enjoy a free horse racing trainers ebook courtesy of myself, and it's £29 to buy Racing Winners. Thanks and all the best.